Hello, everyone. Welcome to Dead with My Friends podcast. I'm your co-host, Steve.
I'm your other co-host, Nick.
And this is episode 22, which is our 1-year retrospective and review.
One fucking year doing this, dude. It's been awesome. I've had a lot of fun.
Dude, it has been a great time. The outpour of support from our peers, from people in the Hudson Valley metal and hardcore scene. It's just been so sick, man. And this just kind of started with like a little conversation in your garage one summer night about like people like werewolf movies and like how important it was to have
a man in a suit.
Man, compared to like bullshit CGI. And here we are, man. A year later, 22 episodes. We just got over 100 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
Which, you know, to maybe some is a small number, but for us, that's fucking awesome.
It was a goal that we hit. It was a small goal that we hit, but it was a small, achievable goal that, I mean, I'm happy that we had gotten to. I wasn't really keeping up too much with it, though.
Yeah, I'm happy we achieved that small goal. And, like, you know, just seeing how well some of our recent episodes have been doing. And just the anomaly or the enigma, if you will, of Ninja November episode breaking 12,000 views.
Yeah.
I still don't get it, but it somehow found its way in the algorithm.
People like ninjas. Yeah, I'm pretty dumbfounded by it too, man. It's like,
because like we couldn't even use the video footage for that episode.
What the fuck happened to the footage?
Something, it was just super choppy with my internet at the time.
You know what it was? We were fucking using a online service to do remote episodes because Steven and I try to get together at least once a month to do an in-person, and then we try to do a Zoom or, you know, remote, right? So we were using another fucking program for it, and it was like dedicated to podcasting with video and stuff like that, but we had nothing but fucking issues with it, and we recorded a whole episode, and I remember now, I said to him, I was like, we can't use this footage, man. I'm like, it's fucking terrible.
I was so broken that we couldn't use the footage.
Know.
And it's just so funny because it's our best episode as far as views.
Like, yeah, and can you believe that, like, you know, the one episode that we did that's doing the best is audio only.
Yeah, on YouTube too. So it's
when you think about it though, it's like we do the video for us, kind of, you know, because like video is my background. You know, I like doing the video aspect. I like having that option.
I love our setup that we've now figured out, and like other people have given me feedback on how sick it looks. So
I was looking back at the pilot episode and I was like, damn, I'm like, what a sad looking episode that was. Like, the content is great.
Yeah.
But I was like, what a sad looking episode. We were just sitting on my couch and we're in the same place. I'm just gonna say we're in the same place, but I was like, let's fucking jazz this shit up. The white background too. I'm like, shit, we should have fucking, or I at least should have.
We kind of just dove into it though, man. Like, we just were like, okay, let's do it. And then we were like, all right, let's shoot an episode. And our first episode was very ambitious. I mean, we each talked about our top 10 favorite movies of all time. And we had made sure we had like physical copies to go through. So essentially we talked about like 20 movies.
We didn't like spend too much time on them though.
Yeah,
it was just something to get our feet wet, man. I mean, I'll say though, I'm upset because I beefed on the audio for the first episode. I thought I had everything set in motion.
Yeah, we were using those little mic clip-on hookups.
We were using the lavalier mics.
Yeah,
because we didn't have microphones at the time, and I was like, this is gonna be awesome. You know, the audio first episode's gonna look good. The video's gonna look good. And then we wrapped up. Him and I were so fucking hyped, and I look over at the little receiver, and I didn't hit record. So, but I'll be honest with you. I remastered the audio for that episode. So, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna upload a remastered version for it.
Yeah.
Just because the audio sounds better.
Yeah. Why not?
I think, I mean, here's the thing though. I want to give a shout out to Anchor FM by Spotify, because they have that's who hosts our podcast, streaming wise at least. But they're fucking so cool though, because you can re-upload an episode
Mhm.
and not lose your views
That's so
or
sick.
anything. Unlike YouTube, where you can't do that. You'd have to
Yeah.
fucking totally re-upload and shit. So be on the lookout though for the remastered pilot episode audio on the streaming platforms, Spotify and Apple and all that shit. I can't do it on YouTube, unfortunately, but yeah, I'm one of those fucking guys though, dude. It's just like the creative in me or the filmmaker, whatever the fuck it is, where I can't let things go. And I'll go back and I'll listen and I'll beat myself up for stupid bullshit like that. Even though it's like people still listen to it, people still liked it. But I went to the extent of figuring out how to, remaster the audio. So it does sound a lot better. When we wrap, I'll show it to you. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
enough
what's
on
up.
that.
Yeah, so that was like episode 1, and then like episode 2, which is so funny because literally a year ago to the date, we recorded Bloody Muscle Bodybuilder in Hell. And
Hold on, right now?
yeah,
We recorded Bloody Muscle
yeah,
Bodybuilder?
it was Labor Day weekend, and we were getting ready to go to Fright Fest, which upon this time of recording, it is Labor Day weekend, and we have Fright Fest at the Fair Oaks Drive-In, where we will be watching Fright Night and having some of the cast there, Charlie, Amy, and Evil Ed. They will all be there for
I can't
Q&A
wait.
and
It's gonna be a great
signings.
night.
So yeah, a year ago to the date, we did Bloody Muscle Bodybuilder in Hell, which was episode 2.
No shit.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know that it was around this time. For some reason I feel like because we released it
We
in
released it in
October.
October, but we shot it. It took a bit to get that pilot out.
It did. That was a lot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that since it's a retrospect, I'm gonna, reflect on the trials and tribulations of having a podcast. And the one surprising thing about having a podcast, or editing one or whatever, because I'm the one who edits all of this, it's a lot of work, man. It's
I
a lot of
believe it. I
it's
believe it. You've sent me like clips of like you putting in the work, and it's just like, damn, dude.
but it's not for any like accolade, or it's not for you to fucking be like, oh, look at how much work Nick's doing.
Nah,
It's
you
just,
deserve your flowers though.
thank you. I appreciate that. It is a lot of work. It's fun work though. It's fun fucking figuring all this stuff out, man. I've learned a lot doing it. And it's come a long way. Just the editing alone. So, but it is a lot of work. I have found that it is easier to edit audio only. I found, like, with our audio only episodes, which is only a very few of them. I think it's only Ninja November's audio only, and Madman, I think, is audio only, right? I think those are the only two that we have that are audio only.
Ninja
And then
November,
actually
there's one more.
half or a quarter.
Tale of Two Sisters, I think.
No,
No,
I saw the
not-
devil.
I saw the devil,
Yep.
which that
That sucked.
sucked because the
I love
camera.
that. Yeah, I love that episode.
Hold on. Let's go back. I need to make a correction. Episode 2 was Prey and Nope.
Right.
And that was our first ever remote episode, and we shot that at the end of August.
That makes sense. That
Yeah, we
that
shot
adds
it. We
up.
shot it at the end of August, and then episode 3 was a year ago today. It was Labor Day weekend. We were gearing up for Fright Fest then too,
Right.
and that's when we shot Bloody Muscle Bodybuilder in Hell.
Because I think we even referenced in the episode that we were going to Fright Fest.
Yep. So here we are in the 1 year retrospective, year in review, and first year in review. And yeah, we're going back to Fright Fest as we mentioned. So it's all coming full circle.
We actually were going to opt out of going to Fright Fest this year.
Yeah, we were going to go to Born Dead Hardcore Fest up in Albany, but
the cast of Fright Night are going to be there tonight. So Steven made the executive decision, and he was like, yo, I have to go.
I have to. Fright Night, if you go back to the pilot, it's my number 3 favorite movie of all time. I don't know when I'm gonna be able to meet Bill, Stephen Jeffries, Amanda Bierce, all three of them for under $100, and be
Yeah,
able to
not at
ask
a
them,
con, that's for sure.
yeah, and be able to ask them some questions like after a screening of Fright Night. So I had to.
Yeah. I want to say bloody muscle bodybuilder. That was an interesting episode too because we were having technical difficulties.
When were we not in the first few
We're
episodes?
even having technical
Yeah,
difficulties now. I
right
want to
now we
say,
are.
yeah. So unfortunately, my camera keeps on fucking. I don't know what it's doing, but it's pissing me off. So the thing's
Some with
about to
the memory
become a
cards,
fucking
faulty,
paperweight.
faulty
Something's
memory cards. Yeah.
yeah, something's faulty in it. So I'll have to figure it out. But we've always made it work, and that's another thing that I want to say about having a podcast is
What did Grizz say to us?
well, Grizz told me, shout out Grizz.
Bad Taste Video, our brothers.
He's like the problems are always. He's like they're always gonna be there no matter what. You think you figure it out, and this isn't verbatim. You figure out one issue, one resolution for an issue, and we did. And then he's like just technology's just gonna fucking keep fucking you up, and it
Yeah.
does. It continues to. I don't have anything down to a science. I just want to say that.
Yeah.
Editing though, the editing I do, it's just that has not been ever the issue. It's just always been like either mics,
Yeah.
being a fucking issue, recording, through the computers being a fucking issue, or the cameras being an issue.
What can go wrong will go wrong.
Will always go wrong.
Yep.
So hopefully, a main goal of mine for this year in regards to the show is to get everything more down to a science. I think we do an okay job. We eliminated the setup time.
Yeah.
That used to be a big thing. We used to record in one different area of my house, and that took a lot of time. Now we record back in another area. I feel like that's a lot better. So it's just always figuring things out, always room for improvement. And I forgot who you had mentioned, but it was one of your friends had said, if you're looking to start a podcast, then you should probably definitely just do like a test episode. We didn't do that. So I would absolutely recommend anybody who's looking to start a podcast, do a test episode.
Yeah.
Do a couple of test episodes beforehand. Make sure your camera's working good. You got good mics.
I think who dropped that advice was EK Wimmer from the Laser Graves podcast.
There you go.
I remember him saying, like, if you're looking to start a podcast, you definitely want to do some test episodes first.
Yeah.
And I wish we could have. We kind of just dove into it, but again, here we are, 1 year later, and it's been a bumpy ride, but we're here, and I've been so thankful for this show.
Yeah,
it gives me something to look forward to. Like not every week. We do like 2 episodes a month. We record like bi-weekly, but I'm always thinking about the show and just like the next movie we're gonna cover, and like when a show and a conversation goes well, like it's just such a good feeling.
Oh, dude, it's the best feeling, dude, when you just feel like you're on it,
Yeah.
Those are some of my favorite episodes. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, like, I have my favorite episodes that we've done. And I also have few episodes that are not my favorite, but I'm not going to ever say what they are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to. If you want to.
I'll say.
I will never say. I don't feel like that's... I feel like then that's going to leave, room for people to go back and listen to the episodes and be like, maybe Nick wasn't on point. Those are the episodes that I don't necessarily love, because you go in sometimes with this mentality that you're going to be on fire, and there's just, it's the human error, I suppose, too, as well, man. Like, just things go on in your life, and sometimes it's just hard to shut these things down, and then it kind of like shows itself, I feel, in certain episodes of just things that I might have been dealing with in my personal life, and I might not have been there per se. But dude, I've loved every episode. I have loved every episode that we have done, but there are some, very few, that are not my favorite. But I will talk about my favorites for sure.
Just real quick, going back to Bloody Muscle Bodybuilder in Hell. Man, that was so sick because you had never seen the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I brought over my Visual Vengeance release,
which I now own.
Yep. And that was just, we had watched that movie, and got right to recording.
Yeah.
And that was cool. Like, just watching you experience that movie for the first time too. And I was like, yo, you're gonna love this. And then that conversation was fun.
Didn't we have technical difficulties with that episode
Um,
where
the mics were kind of picking up each other, I feel like, or something. But
there was one episode that has the Renaissance photo that I like to call. You remember
yes,
that?
well,
We'll
that's
get there.
our next episode, and that is when we did a double feature of Hack Lantern and Trick or Treat,
Right.
and that is where the Renaissance photo comes in.
Yeah, it was
So
great.
that was recorded in October. We were gonna meet some friends at Terror Screen Park in Monroe, so we were on a time crunch.
Just totally
were-
fixing to have a good night. And then, we thought, or I at least thought, I was like, yeah, we're good. Our audio's been good. Our video's been good. Everything's been fucking solid. And then, when you fucking guessed it, some technical difficulties had happened. We recorded like 15 minutes of a fucking episode.
No, more than that. I think we were like almost 30 minutes in. We were recording off of your computer with 2 separate mics, and the track just deleted itself.
Yeah.
And
and we have it on video.
Yeah,
I'm gonna see. I'm gonna include it in.
I think you should, looking back on it now, if you still have that footage.
There's no audio to it, but you see like the moment we both realized that the audio was gone, and yeah, I consider it like a Renaissance photo, just like
Absolutely.
a historical moment captured in time.
Yeah. And we felt so broken and defeated, and we're like, what the fuck are we supposed to do? We're supposed to meet friends in Monroe. But you know what, man? We fucking regrouped and we fucking swung for the fences.
That's always been Steven's motto. Since that day, that's been his fucking motto. Yeah. And even in the difficulties, there's always been one of us, I feel, who's been a little bit more down about the situation and been a little bit more defeated. But the good thing about you and I is like one of us could just really bring that other person up and just be like, no, we're fucking doing it. We're getting this episode fucking shot. Swing for the fences, like you always say, and we've gotten it done every single time.
Exactly.
So even in even when we do face these difficulties and shit, we just power through it. And that's another thing that I want to say to people, for anybody who might face difficulties and whatnot with doing your podcast, just power through it. Swing for the fucking fences every single time, and spit in the face of adversity.
Yeah. Great inspiring words, brother, because that was episode 4. That was our big Halloween double feature. And I wanted to make sure that we did Hack Lantern and, more importantly, Trick or Treat the justice it deserved, because we grew up with that movie. It's one of our favorites. So the fact that we didn't give up, we got the episode done and still had a good night with our friends at Terror Screen Park.
I think the fact that we powered through the situation made it even much better of a night, Yeah. We still would have had a great night if the recording had went well initially, but the fact that like we got so defeated and then we fucking got through it, and then we went back out. We were still able to make it on time. Like that was fucking awesome, man.
And then we went on to episode 5, which we talked about the Hellraiser reboot, and
which was awesome.
Which was awesome, and unfortunately, Halloween Ends,
which I'm glad ended that trilogy. If you want to hear more about us talking about that movie, definitely go refer back to that, because I
have nothing more to say.
I just really don't want to talk about the David Gordon Green Halloween films at this point, but I enjoyed talking about Hellraiser.
Yeah, I was all about that reboot. I'm curious to see where it goes from there, and I'm totally behind everything that direction.
No word on it though. No word on any of that yet, which is interesting. Going on a year now, haven't really heard anything about it, which kind of sucks. But
I can only hope, because I really did like Jamie Clayton's performance.
Jamie Clayton. She was a fucking awesome Pinhead.
She was great.
I'm all
great
on
Hell
board
Priest.
Yeah. She killed it. So after that, we had we were in November, Ninja November. So far, it's been our best episode. So whoever has listened to the Ninja November episode, thank you very much.
Shout out to Grindhouse Cellar for putting me on to like Ninja November, for being a thing, and I can't wait to do Ninja November Part 2 this year.
It's a yearly thing that we're gonna do. We're always gonna dedicate one episode every year to Ninja November. I don't think we'll ever run out of episodes. Steven has always been a big ninja guy, big kung fu guy, big martial arts guy. He knows what's up in regards to those movies. I'm not I'm not super. It's not that I don't like them. It's just movies that I've never gravitated towards growing up. So I'm glad that I have November to to dedicate towards ninja movies. So
Hell yeah. Talking about Revenge of the Ninja, which was also in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. I'm a big Sho Kosugi fan. I love the Canon Ninja trilogy. They really started like the 80s ninja boom. So to be able to just talk about like that movie and the Canon Films group,
I
like,
love that movie now, man.
yeah.
So I'm so happy that
Now we got to go
we
revisit the
covered it.
others. Revenge, like I said, is my favorite out of the three, but like Ninja 3, The Domination, and like Enter the Ninja, which started it all. Like, yeah, man. All that shit, the Godfrey Ho ninja films that are just ridiculous. There's so many good ones out there, and like Ninja November will definitely be a thing every November going forward. That was episode 6, and then episode 7.
Yeah, Madman,
Yeah.
which is like one of the only like Thanksgiving-y. I shouldn't say that.
Well, no, because you got Blood Rage, but you're not.
Right. I'm not the
Hot
biggest.
take, you're not the biggest fan of Blood Rage. I
Right.
love Blood Rage. I love the soundtrack. I love like the silly puns and the whole good twin, evil twin aspect.
Yeah, he
It's a
framed his
fun.
fucking brother.
Yeah, it's
I'm
a
gonna
fun
go
one.
back. I'm gonna go back to it this year for sure. I don't know. I really just don't know why I didn't like it. But I don't know.
I think you should give it another viewing.
I'm gonna give it another viewing, man. I will say this year though, we have apparently Eli Roth's Thanksgiving coming out in November.
Yeah.
So
So if that is out at a decent time in November, I would love to cover that because I've been waiting for that to become a movie since that had became a thing for those fake Grindhouse trailers for the Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez Grindhouse double feature.
everybody's wanted it,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, I think I've wanted everyone. I mean, Hobo with a Shotgun actually became a movie.
Yeah.
Edgar Wright's don't.
I want that to
I
be
would
a
love to see
movie
that.
so bad.
Thanksgiving, everybody wanted Thanksgiving. Everybody wanted a good Thanksgiving themed horror film.
Yeah, because there's not enough of them out there, truthfully.
Yeah, I can't really think of many. I mean, even Madman isn't.
It's not
It's
on
not.
Thanksgiving, but
Yeah,
it's mentioned like, hey, your families are coming for Thanksgiving break to take you
right.
home, so this is like our last like hoorah. So it takes place in like, November. So we figured, fuck it, we'll just throw that in there.
So the fact that it's referenced, we were like, all right, like that deems it
It gave us an excuse to talk about Mad Men
right.
because I know how much you love Mad Men. I love Mad Men. That movie genuinely scared the fucking shit out of me as a kid. I had the Anchor Bay DVD release that I'd gotten from Media Play at the time in Middletown. Like that movie fucking made me terrified of the woods when I was a kid.
Yeah,
Just that shot of Madman Mars in the tree, like when Richie sees him and you just see the silhouette and he's like
yeah.
watching that. Fucking still, dude, sends shivers down my spine.
The atmosphere in that movie is really good, and some of the scenes, man.
Also, those
Especially
blue hues and shit, just the lighting, it's so sick.
right. Yeah, his silhouette in the tree. Yeah, that was so
Yeah,
good, man.
so
I
creepy.
I loved
With
Mad
the
Men.
wind blowing, like blowing the hair in his face so you can't see his
But
face.
it's like you can feel that,
Yeah.
man. You can feel that November air, that chilly November air.
And it was shot right in Staten Island too, so like, I'm
was it?
sure like
I'm sure we talked about it in the
yeah,
movie.
and I'm pretty sure it was, if I'm not mistaken, they did shoot it in the fall. So
it looks like it. There's all the fall foliage and everything like that. So, but yeah, after that we had, this is one of my favorite episodes we've done, where Black Xmas and Black Christmas, Bob Clark's Black Christmas. Absolutely loved that episode. I'd say that's my number 3. If I'm gonna do like a 1, 2, 3 of my favorite episodes, that's my number 3 favorite.
okay, that was a great one. Big fan of Black Xmas. Minus like there was a couple of grapes that I do have with it, but to do that as a double bill with the original Bob Clark Black Christmas, which is one of the scariest movies I've ever seen
I
to this
agree.
day. To this day. To this day. To this day. No, seriously, man.
You might notice also that was the last double feature that we did, because in the editing world, talking about 2 fucking movies is
It's rough.
so time consuming.
Again, going back to like my time in Horror Haven, shout out Dylan.
I don't know how
And
you
Sierra?
did it, Dylan. We
Yo,
talked like 3 movies
3 movies an
sometimes.
episode? What the fuck were we thinking?
I don't know. He made it work though.
That editing process must have been a fucking nightmare. So Dylan, man, you're a fucking trooper, brother.
Dylan's the OG, man. Dylan, if you go back and listen to our Evil Dead Rise episode, which we will definitely get to in this episode, I give Dylan so much fucking credit. You know, he was one person that really inspired me to want to get into podcasting. I love Horror Haven. They've been on a little bit of a hiatus, which is unfortunate because I would love for us to get on one of those fucking episodes. So hopefully that'll be a thing
There
soon.
might
But
be some
he's a
things in the
busy
works.
boy.
Yeah, he's
You
a
know,
busy
I can't
guy,
wait to get him
a
on
family
again.
man. Shout outs to Dylan because he brought me into the podcasting world too. And our friend Larry, like another big influence on us. I think they might have something in the works themselves, which I'd be all about if that's still happening.
Then after that episode, that was the end of the year.
Yeah, so then we did like a 2022 year-end wrap up where we just kind of went through like some of our favorite movies that came out in the year of 2022 as far as horror movies, which was a good year for
It was
horror
a
movies.
really good year for fucking horror films.
Really
Really
good. I talked about The Black Phone. We talked about The
right.
Black Phone. I was really high on Terrifier 2.
Which I still have yet to finish.
Yeah, you got to finish that. But I will say, upon like a second viewing, 100% they could have cut like. So the movie's 2 hours and 20 minutes. They definitely could have cut like 20 minutes out.
That's just so. That's been my gripe with it when I'm watching it. It's
Yeah.
just there's an excess of stuff that I feel like is unnecessary. It's not my film. It's got really good shit so far, you know, from what I've seen. But like, I will be honest with you, man. Like, I watched probably like almost a quarter of it to a half in fucking summertime, and I've yet to finish it. But I give Damien Leone so much credit because he's like he wears so many fucking hats on that film, man. And I mean, if you're directing, writing, editing, doing the effects, man, like some of that shit alone is just so fucking time consuming, man. He does a great job, but it's just like, yeah, it's certain things are hard for me to fucking get through with it, but I'll eventually do it.
I think I had mentioned again, the Hellraiser reboot and fucking shit, man. Oh, Barbarian, that was on
Yeah,
your
that was
top.
on
That was a
mine. I don't
fucking
even
great
remember.
movie.
I can't even tell you. I don't even remember what my top.
It's all good. They could go back and listen
Yeah, I don't remember
if they're
my
that
top.
curious.
X was on there. Barbarian was on there for me.
Yes, X.
Nope,
X.
Nope was my number one. Now that I think about it, Nope. I think Nope
I
was my
think
number
X
one.
was my number 2. Black Phone was my number 1. X was my number 2, and Terrifier 2 was my number 3.
Got it. Yeah, I had
Honorable mention Nope because Nope, going back to episode 2, that's what put me on as like, okay, I am on the Jordan Peele hype train. He fucking did
best.
something spectacular.
Yeah.
And
He's
I
got
cannot wait for what's next.
He's got a movie coming out next year on Christmas.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know if you knew about that.
No, I didn't
Yeah,
know.
Christmas.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun one, I'm sure. Who knows, man?
I'm excited. I don't even know what it is, but I'm excited.
I'm glad you're excited.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
he always throws you a fucking curveball. It's
Yeah.
never what it
Yeah,
seems.
absolutely.
So that's what I love about
I
Jordan
love
Peele.
the way he markets his shit, and I love that he has full control of like the marketing for
Yeah,
it.
he's got full control over the marketing of his movies, man. So that's a good thing because you're not gonna get the fucking movie spoiled for you in the trailer, like
Yeah.
a lot of movies nowadays do. Unfortunately.
And then from there, going on to episode 10, we covered one of my favorite slashers, Terror Train, and I got to bring on the Groucho Marx mask that you had acquired for me. We brought old Groucho onto the episode.
Yeah, he was hanging out for a while. For whatever reason, I don't remember why, but like we couldn't get him like situated properly. Oh, I know why, because we didn't sit on the chairs.
We were
That
still
was
using
when
the couch. Yeah.
That was when I think that was the turning point for us when we decided that we were
Yeah.
gonna move around our in-person setup.
Yep.
So we were sitting on my couch and we just couldn't get him positioned properly, which sucked because we wanted to have him front and center. Because that mask is sick, dude. That fucking mask is original. I had gotten that for you. Fuck, man. What,
Like 2018? Something
I
like
still
that.
haven't seen. I saw one pop up not long ago. I was gonna say that I haven't seen one really pop up recently, but I lied, and I did see one probably like early last year pop up, and I inquired about it, but the dude just wanted too much money. So it's a good indication, you know, that you should fucking definitely never give up that mask, and if you ever do, You're selling it
Of
to me.
course, of
You're not
course.
gonna get
I'm
rid of it
not.
though.
I'm not. No way. No
Don't.
way.
It's all original.
But what I love about that episode too is because it's a New Year's Eve slasher,
Mhm.
and we shot it on New Year's Eve right before going to Jake's New Year's Eve party with all
Yeah.
of our friends.
Yep. So that's a good memory, man.
Yeah.
Uh, I did have a lot of fun recording that episode, dude.
Yeah, it was for sure a fun one. And I fucking love Terror Train to
So
this
do I.
day.
We still
I
have
have
yet.
to watch it every New Year's Eve weekend amongst fucking, the Twilight Zone marathons. Also New Year's Evil. We haven't talked about that.
Maybe we'll get to that.
We'll try to get to that maybe next January. That's a fun one.
Or
You
this
got
upcoming
you got
January.
Yeah, or this upcoming January because we're heading towards the later part of the year,
Yeah,
which
because
is
it's
kind of wild.
September. Upon the time of recording, it's September 2nd right now.
Yeah.
So
The
birthday's
Burr months are here, man.
birthday's in a couple weeks, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be 31. I
Yeah,
kind of
dude.
like that though. That's kind of cool. 31, right? October 31st is like my favorite day out of the year. It's my
Yeah.
nephew's birthday as well.
Yep.
I think he's gonna be like 6. But I think that's cool too. My nephew's birthday's on Halloween.
Yeah.
Right?
Little Dom.
Little Dominic.
Yep.
A little fucking shithead, but I
Yeah.
love him. He's fun. He's a crazy kid, man.
Yeah, he's a
But,
wild one.
off the topic of my nephew now, but yeah, no, I'm gonna be 31 this month, man. Crazy.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I want to say, we gotta still check out that Tubi original. I think there's a second one
Man.
now.
Can we not?
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
Dr. Wolfula, I think that's his name on YouTube. Like he reviews movies and he's got like a wolf mask and hands. It's sick. I dig his
How
gimmick.
come I've never heard of this?
You should check it out because he has multiple like gimmicks where like, but he
You know me, I love a gimmick.
yeah
That's
his
like
gimmick. That's his
it's
gimmick.
my whole
bro.
life.
He has
It's
like sunglasses, but one of the frames or the lenses is missing from one, and he's always wearing this wolf mask.
I like it. I'm with it.
And
Behind it.
he reviewed the Tubi Terrifier 1 and 2 and
Terror
watched
Train.
it, so we didn't have to, or I didn't have to. And my goodness, I am totally fucking good on never seeing those unless you're really dying to watch them.
I'm gonna watch them myself. I don't want to cover them. I'm not.
Yeah, no,
definitely,
I'm not. No,
I don't want to dedicate
'Cause
an
I'll sit there
entire
and probably fucking
hour
bury
of
them.
talking about them because I'm pretty confident that they're not gonna be great. But I just want to see what's up, man. I mean, I'm like at a point right now where I'm willing to give up Netflix and all my other streaming services besides Disney Plus, and I'll say why in a second. For just because Tubi rules, man. Tubi rules.
It is the GOAT as far as streaming services for your horror needs because they
Not
have
even horror needs, bro.
well, everything. But they do have a working relationship with Vinegar Syndrome, with Arrow, with Severin,
Yeah.
with Full Moon, with Shout Factory,
Best labels, man. That's like every
and
that's
there's
every
a lot
fucking
of
label.
even Visual Vengeance. There's a lot of deep cut shot on video horror on there too.
Dude, I'm always very impressed whenever I'm going through the catalog of like the shit that they have.
Yeah,
I won't get rid of Shudder either.
no,
I'll
no
always
way.
keep Shudder.
Yeah.
But I might get rid of Netflix, man. It's
Especially
just the fucking,
real quick,
content's-
the announcement, new season of Creep Show
I saw that.
for October.
Fuck
So
yeah.
excited, man. So excited.
That's a good way to go in October.
Hell yeah,
Dude,
Hell yeah.
because the creep shows were fucking. It was
Dude,
great.
that
Greg
series is
Nicotero's
great.
killing it, man.
Yeah, those series are great.
Yeah.
I love them.
So then after that, I don't know if you want to still continue or if you want to move on.
Yeah, so after that we had Tale of Two Sisters. That one, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't the sharpest. I feel like you had to carry me on that one because there was a lot of like interwoven plot points that at the time of recording I had only seen. That was my second time watching, and there's a lot to take in with that movie.
Oh,
and
big
it's a
time.
masterpiece. It's Kim Ji-woon. You're always anything Kim Ji-woon is related to, like you always know you're in for a good fucking ride.
right.
And it's a very intricate plot. And after that point is when I started watching the movie for the show more than once.
Yeah, you have to.
100%. So thank you for carrying me through that.
You're welcome, man. I don't feel like I necessarily had to carry you. I mean, but what I did like about that episode was just like this is the fun about covering these episodes or covering these movies, right? Is like I bring different things to the table than you bring because we're different viewers, man.
True.
That always makes for a conversation, because like that's what this is. This is just long form fucking conversation that we're having, just discussing a movie. So if things go over your head, that's awesome because then I want to be able to tell you what's up,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
what this is about.
that's true.
It's a very and I'll be honest with you, dude. Like I even had my difficulties like talking about it or even like thinking about it too, just because it's like that movie's layered, man, big
Very layered.
time.
I know you don't like onions, but
I
man,
hate
that movie
onions.
is layered like an onion.
It's layered like a fucking onion, man, and it's a great movie. That's a 10 out of 10 flick. I think that was what I rated it. I definitely rated it 10 out of 10. But so then after that, this is my second favorite episode that we've done
Okay.
was Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge. And the reason why we had zero intention on recording that episode, but it worked out in a weird way that I just threw it on one weekend. Steven, without us discussing it, threw it on one weekend, and we both agreed that we needed to talk about this movie because it was just so good. And it became one of my favorite movies, to be honest with you. Like, I love that fucking movie, dude. Like, genuinely, it's so good, man.
Yeah, I'm so happy. Like, it gave me a reason to break the seal on my Arrow Video box set.
I
Cause
bought
you,
one.
yeah, I'm happy you picked it up, man. Cause that is a great box set. I
Yeah.
love the cover art and everything. And, you know, you'd mentioned, yeah, I'm gonna throw on Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge. I'm like, you know what, man? I'm gonna break the seal on mine, throw it on too. And the next thing you know, it's like we're like texting each other, like, yo, we should fucking talk about this
Yeah.
movie. And then we did. And that was a fucking fun conversation. That movie is fun as hell. My boy Eric looking like fucking Terry Bogard from Final Fight. Fucking or no, I'm sorry, not Final Fight. Yeah, no, Final Fight. Is it Final Fight?
Eric sounding like
Fatal Fury, my bad. I'm running all through these Japanese fighting games. Yeah. Looking like Terry Bogard.
He's
From
got a
fucking
Rain Man thing going right now. It's fucking just his encyclopedia of fucking Japanese fight beat 'em up fucking games.
Yeah. He's straight up looking like Terry Bogard from fucking Fatal Fury, throwing mean spin kicks, but sounding like the fucking Shockmaster from WCW. I love it all, man.
And I mean
And plus, we're mall kids,
we're mall kids, so
mall rats
we are mall rats, man.
Yep.
I mean, I can't stand the fucking mall anymore, but like it just
anymore.
hits
But
so
damn,
much different back in the day. Another big reason why I like Phantom of the Mall was because I feel like that was a little bit of a turning point for the show as well. Like that was like when we I feel like achieved our best audio. We had just gotten our new mics.
yep.
So our audio was
We
on
went back
point,
to
sounded really
Zoom.
good. We went back to using Zoom for remote. Shout out Zoom for holding us down. You guys, we came back,
Yep.
And then another thing, dude, is like that's when I started throwing in the trailers and, throwing a little bit of flavor, a little bit more flavor into the episodes too. And that's like something that I've been maintaining for mostly all the movies. I think like the only movie that didn't there was one movie we'll eventually get to I think didn't have a good trailer in it. Can't remember what it was
Cruel
though.
Jaws.
Yup, Cruel Jaws, right. Cruel Jaws did not have a good trailer, so that's
Yeah.
like one of the only newer episodes that I did not put a trailer into. Um but I love Eric's Revenge, man. So glad we got to cover that and talk that. That was a fun one. Go
Oh
check
yeah.
that episode out.
That was a good
It's my
last
second
minute,
favorite.
on the call decision, and then from there we moved on to episode 13, which was I Saw the Devil, another Kim Ji Woon masterpiece in my top 10 favorite movies of all time, which
Same.
you had put me on. And
Glad I did.
I just wish that the camera wasn't giving us bullshit like
Yeah,
it is
so
right now.
it's unfortunate. I mean, at least we got to use some of it, but it's upsetting in the sense that like, bro, the setup we had was great that
Yep,
night.
this was
Man.
when I feel like we officially had this setup that we have right now. And then we were fresh off of seeing Scream 6.
We were hyped up off of Red Bulls.
Hyped off of a Red Bull. So
hyped
it
up
was a
off of the
late night
movie.
shoot.
Yeah.
And, the conversation was great. It's just the fucking video, the camera just stopped recording. So
Most important thing always, man, is at least we get the fucking episode out. So if the video doesn't work, whatever. If the audio though, that's That's
Yeah.
the killer, man.
Yeah.
Because that was almost a problem that we had on another episode that we just recorded.
Oh
And
yeah.
Zoom, shout out Zoom,
Saved our
you saved our
asses.
ass,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. But you know, talking about both some of our favorite both our favorite movies or in our top 10, I Saw the Devil. Oh man.
The top 10 discussions are always awesome, bro, because we gush over it unlike anything else,
Yeah.
you know? And we
And
bring a
we
lot
gushed
more to the table when we talk about the top 10 flicks.
we gushed over at least I know I definitely did. I'm sure you definitely did because man, it is the best revenge flick cat and mouse chase I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's the best, dude. It's the best revenge film of all time, in my opinion. And it was funny. I was talking to a coworker, and they knew this film. We were talking about Parasite. We were just talking about like South Korean flicks, man. And they were like, "Have you ever seen I Saw the Devil?" And I'm like, "Have I ever seen I Saw the Devil?" Like that's one of my favorite fucking movies of all time. I was so shocked that they had known it. I didn't drop the podcast. No shameless self promoting, but no, it was cool. It's cool when people know about it.
Yeah.
Question for you, dude. Do you ever go back and listen to old episodes?
Um I peep them here and there, not like fully, but just to kind of like give my own review of myself, like what can I be better at?
Yeah, the only reason why I asked was because you were like, "Yeah, I don't know if you were gushing over the flick or whatnot," and I'm like, "Dude, I have not listened to that episode." I get so burnt out after an episode, dude, because
Yeah,
it's
because
like
you're sitting there editing and watching it over and over and over. So at that point, you just
months.
yeah,
Sometimes it's months, dude, that I won't even listen to an episode.
yeah, I get that. I totally
Some of them I've
understand.
only ever listened to in the editing, and I'll just take your word that it sounds good because
Yeah,
you'll tell me if something's
yeah.
like
No,
fucked up.
I upon it.
One time we had a fuck up in the export, and Mikey Galgano fucking hit me up, and he's like, "Yo, dude, it's mono, it's not stereo," and I'm like, "Fuck." So I had to go and correct that, but shout out Anchor FM because I was able to just go back in and replace that shit and nobody ever knew.
Yeah,
So the Nope and Pray episode, initial export was in mono. So
yeah,
little
yeah,
fun
man.
fact.
So I Saw the Devil. Even though the video got cut off, it was still a great conversation. And yeah, moving on. Episode 14, we covered Dead Heat.
Love Dead Heat. Had a lot of fun talking Dead Heat. Shout out Joe Piscopo. Rest in peace, Treat. Treat has since passed away, man.
Yeah, that's right. Recently, over a few months ago. So
Yeah.
rest in peace, Treat Williams. But yeah, man, that's a fun one. Effects heavy.
Yeah.
Mark Goldblatt, master editor, first time in the director's chair, I believe. And man, just a fun like buddy cop movie with like some sci-fi horror aspects to it.
Not to be taken serious at all.
No.
Just so much fun, man.
Yeah.
Just good Sunday flick to fucking throw on with your boys. Vinegar Syndrome like did such a good job with that one, man. I think a lot of our catalog in the first year was Vinegar Syndrome movies too. So,
Yeah, it is one of our favorite labels. So
it is my favorite label for sure, and they just actually announced their September releases, I think.
Yeah, I still haven't peeped
good.
it. I'm still like,
and they have an
getting caught
awesome
up.
Labor Day sale going on right
Don't
now.
tell me that.
Yeah, I know you're gonna be at the fucking drive-in. You're
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
be
gonna be
looking
sitting there,
through
add
these
to
fucking
cart, add to
movies, man.
cart.
Yeah,
I'm
dude,
still
it's
waiting
a
on
sale
my
though. I'll tell you, dude. Like, I think they had like fucking like Beastmaster, which I might actually go grab after this because I unfortunately sold my copy, but for like $12.
Ooh, okay.
And that's a 4K UHD. It's not like the box set that it initially was, or it's like $14 or something. But that's a good deal for that flick, man.
Yeah. It's funny though because you mentioned like sales and shit. I'm still waiting on my Severin mid-year sale to ship.
Oh, are you talking the last horror movie?
Yeah, like that. I gotten a bunch. I'd gotten that. I'd gotten.
I just got the shipping notification for that.
Oh, did you?
Mine
I gotta check. I
shipped.
gotta check my email. But
Yeah.
I got Bad Biology, that Frank
I
Henenlotter,
want
like,
to check
later
that
movie.
out. I like Frank
Hell
Henenlotter.
yeah, man. One of my favorites. But I'd gotten quite a few titles from that sale, so can't wait for that box to show up at my door.
Yeah, dude, this November is gonna be insane though, dude, because I'm
Hmm.
fucking going hard
Yeah.
with the sales this year for sure. There's a lot of fucking Shout Factory stuff that I want to get.
Oh yeah. Dead Silence just dropped a few weeks ago. I gotta
Yeah,
pick that up. Yeah, there's quite a few movies that like added to my list that I
I want
still
to
gotta
get
pick
Dead
up.
Silence. I want to get Piranha. I want to get their My Bloody Valentine 4K. Um, there's a lot that I want to get from Shout. There's even more that I want to get from Arrow, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
A
I need
lot of
that
Arrow
Ju-On
shit.
box set.
Yes, I
Yeah,
do too.
yeah.
I've been looking at that. I really want to grab that. But I mean I think the first one is 4K. I don't think any of the other ones in the box set are 4K. Cuz like Arrow, I mean, I love Arrow Video, but they've been fucking milking that their catalog
Yeah,
of
yeah.
4K,
I'm not gonna
making them all
lie.
into 4Ks.
There's not been any like Arrow releases that have really jumped out at me as of late. But that
Like
Ju-On box set.
original release, or I
Yeah.
shouldn't say original release, like a newer release, because it seems as like that their releases are just 4K re-releases of movies that they have previously had in the category, which I mean, if that's your thing, whatever. But I mean, they did release Blood and Black Lace 4K UHD box set, art original arte or art original artwork and shit, and I'm a sucker for that. And I love Blood and Black Lace. So I grabbed that, and then I have the Quartet of Horror, Quartet of Terror, whatever that is, the new Hellraiser 4K set, which
Oh
is the
shit, that's another one I need to pick up. I
yeah
have yet to pull the
the
trigger on, but I need
predecessor
to.
to the infamous Scarlet box set.
Yeah.
I will not get rid of the Scarlet box set.
No, you
It
shouldn't.
doesn't have a lot of the special. The new one doesn't really have a lot of the special features that the Scarlet box does have. That's a legendary set though, dude.
It is.
Like people were going fucking crazy trying to get that
I don't
shit.
have it. I've got the basic like a Hellraiser 1 through 3 trilogy, but if I see the Scarlet box set for a decent price, I might just snag
Just
it
fucking
used.
grab it. And I mean, look, dude, like I have, and you have too, the Shout Factory Friday 13th set.
Yeah.
I will still get the 10, that one that was fucking
Oh
fell.
yeah, that people were trying to offload before that box set came
Yeah,
out.
it was going for
Yeah.
like prior to the box set, people were trying to get like 400 fucking dollars for it.
Yeah.
And then now it's like they were like $70. I'm like, that's pretty fair. But all right, we're fucking sidebarring like crazy right now. So let's move on to our next flick, which was Alice Sweet Alice, right?
And what episode was that? Episode 15?
Episode 15, man. So,
Alice Sweet Alice. One that has stuck with me since I was a kid. My grandfather had the VHS. The cover always stood out to me. And we shot it in like spring. Yeah,
yeah,
man.
right
It's just
around
like
like May,
yeah. And
April, May.
it's a
Yeah,
springtime movie because it takes place around, it's also called Communion
right.
or Holy Terror also, but communions and shit that takes place in like the prime of spring. So I was like, yo, fuck it, you want to talk Alice Sweet Alice? I have my Arrow video release, you have yours.
Yeah, which was
And
in my cell pile for a
yeah, I
while.
was like, you better take that shit out. I remember one time I saw it in your cell pile. I gave you so much shit for it.
You did, but you want to know, dude? You want to know like the turning point for me with Alice Sweet Alice was I listened to Quentin Tarantino and Roger Avery talk about it on the Video Archives podcast.
Yeah, that American Giallo episode,
Right,
right?
and Eli Roth. Eli
Yeah,
Roth was
yeah,
on
that
there
was a
too.
good episode.
Great episode. Listen to that podcast. That is a cinephile's wet fucking dream of a show, if you ask me. That's my favorite podcast. Majority of the movies on that I've never even fucking seen, but I can listen to Tarantino talk about movies until the day that I die. But that was the turning point for me because they had gushed over Eli Roth mostly had gushed over Alice Sweet Alice, and I was like, I got to give this one a revisit. I don't know initially what it was that I didn't like. I don't even think that I didn't like it. I liked it, but it was just one of those flicks where I was like, I needed the money or some shit, so I'm like, let me get rid of it. But I'm glad I kept it.
Yeah, I'm happy you
I'm
did
glad
too.
you gave me shit for it because I always fucking laugh when I think
I was
about
like,
it.
no, you need to fucking take this out.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it's a great movie. I love that creepy see-through fucking mask and just like the
Yeah.
raincoat, just that get up is
It's
so
always
sick.
rainy in that movie too. You
Yeah.
know, which is like another thing, like good atmosphere, very
Good Sunday flick for
good,
sure.
yeah, very good Sunday flick, man. And it takes place in Paterson, New Jersey, which isn't that far from us. And
Yeah.
I mean, I've spent not a lot of time in Paterson, but I've worked on and helped out a good friend of mine with some music videos, and he has a spot in Paterson that he films in, and like that industrial.
Was that the Awaken the Cadaver video you helped on?
Yeah, that was one of
Okay.
them. Yeah, we
Yeah,
shot
you
that
did
in
the effects
Paterson.
on, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
with Schlack
With
and
Schlack, yeah.
what was that?
Notorious
Human
Death
Chop
Match.
Shop, I think is what it was called. I
Yeah.
did the effects on
Yeah.
that. My boy Eric, Squared Up Studios, he directed that shit. He fucking killed it. Great video, but yeah, we shot that. But like the one chase scene with the killer and the father,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Like some of the areas that we, filmed in were like areas like that. So I don't know. I have like a weird attachment to it in
Yeah.
that sense
I get
because
that.
of,
Yeah.
of my experience there.
And then you saying the most shocking ending you've ever seen.
At least one of them.
Or at least one of them.
Yeah. It lives rent free in my head, man. Dude, it's a shocking fucking ending in a film, man.
Yeah.
Really, really shocking. I
great.
was not expecting it. It let my mouth was, I gasped and my mouth was like wide open when I had first fucking seen it, and I was shocked.
Yeah,
so
man.
good.
Very good.
Love Alice Sweet Alice.
Yeah. And then from there, we went on to Evil Dead Rise, where we had our first guest, friend of the show, Dylan Jarvis.
This is my favorite episode we've done so far. My number one favorite episode.
It was a great episode.
Very special episode.
Yeah.
Great movie. Great guest, dude. Thank you, Dylan.
I'll say a solid middle of the road kind of. I was like in the high 6s.
I thought it was a great flick. I haven't watched it since, but I thought it was a great
neither
movie.
have I. But what a fucking great conversation.
Yeah.
What a great first guest to have. I cannot wait, Dylan, for you to come back on so we can fucking watch
Intruder.
Yeah,
dude.
All ShopRite alumni here.
I can't wait to talk about the ShopRite stories, man. I have so many.
Yeah, we all collectively.
It's gonna be a fun episode. We're gonna get that going soon. But yeah, man, I had fun doing that episode. I'll be honest, that was the easiest edit I've ever had as well.
Dude, and that's again just Dylan being such a great guest.
Yeah, easiest edit I've ever had. Dylan was our first guest. It was so good. Yeah, it's my first.
We will have more guests on. That's a goal coming into the future. It's just
I wanted to talk to you at the end about maybe some goals that you might have.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you one right now is definitely getting more guests on in the future. It's just working out the schedules with everyone.
Yeah, I'd say like right now, I could speak for myself that man, life is turned in a direction for me.
For me too.
Yeah.
We both started like new jobs and
yeah.
So it's been an adjusting period.
Yeah, life's changed. And, some good things, some bad things, but, I embrace it, and I'm going to get to why it's important. And it's just time purposes, man, like it's getting a guest on, you got to prep. It's just a lot that goes into having a guest. And in a little way, it's intimidating. So, now that things kind of seem like they might be smoothed out for us in the sense of like these life transitions, we'll have more time to dedicate to, doing something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So moving on to episode 17.
Dude, I'm very happy
Long live Ramon.
Long live Ramon. Long live Razor Ramon.
Yeah,
the
man.
Bad guy.
Hey, hello to the bad guy.
Alligator was cool. That was one flick I had always wanted to see, man.
Same.
It was always on my my watch list on
Same.
Shudder.
Same.
So,
yep.
That movie's, one of my favorites. For me, dude, like I have my all-time favorite films, right? I have like my top 10, but I also kind of have like a secondary list of
I do too.
My favorite movies.
Yeah.
That's on there, man.
Cool.
I love Alligator, dude. It's a movie I think I could watch like every fucking day, bro. It's fun.
No, it really is.
It's fucking fun, dude. And I don't feel like it doesn't get boring at any point in time.
No,
man.
the pacing is so good.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm
not gonna gush over it now.
It's funny because this was another like, we need an episode Oh, you haven't seen alligator? Great. I haven't seen alligator either, and I've been dying to find a reason to watch it, and we did, and it was a great conversation.
I bought it. I bought it on the 4K.
That's right, you did. I still got
Yeah.
to pick up a copy myself.
Yeah, I have to. I have to.
Didn't you get a copy at Best Buy? It was just chilling there.
It was just chilling, yeah.
Yeah.
Randomly, because they have some Shout Factory stuff there.
Yeah, and Best Buy's dwindled down their selection of movies,
which is crazy that they had alligator of all movies, and they had like a stacked section of it too. We're gonna have to talk alligator too.
Yeah,
I'm curious to see like what happens with that one.
Yeah, me too.
I'm sure it'll be fun.
The offspring of it's definitely got to be that one gator that the fucking detective like let loose and just fucking plops back down at the end.
Yeah.
And then we followed it up with another creature feature, 90s one, Ticks.
Yeah, Ticks from 1993. Seth Green. I was gonna say Seth Rogen.
Yeah, young Seth Green. He's on the rise in his career.
Yeah, one motherfucker who's got some serious skin in the game. Some fucking Green, man.
Brian Usna. Yeah, producing. Fucking. Not Greg himself, but some of the KMB people team. Help doing the effects. We got the fucking Super Tick.
Yeah.
Fucking what's his name?
Alfonso Ribeiro.
Well, no, not him.
Clint Howard.
Clint Howard.
Yeah, legendary Clint Howard.
Legendary Clint Howard and his dad.
Yeah, Rance.
Yeah. Great cast.
Yeah.
Fun effects. Good early
Mickey
90s.
Dolenz from the Monkees' daughter's in it too. She's in it. She's I forgot her name, but she's on the cover.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's a fucking fun one. Great effects. Just campy early 90s fucking creature feature.
You can't beat it. That's another
that pays
one. Another good
homage.
Vinegar Syndrome release.
Yeah, great box set. And it pays homage to like the 1950s creature features.
Mm-hmm. The Atomic Age, Atomic Monsters, and
which
shit.
is one of my favorite eras for sure.
We talk a lot about that in the episode, so go refer back to that. So the episode after that was one that we had shot and recorded right after VHS Fest.
Literally, we got home and recorded Action USA with we were both burn the fuck out.
Fuck out, dude. Especially you, man. Thank you for fucking driving and doing as much as you did that whole weekend, man. Usually I'm the one who's driving.
Yeah, I was like the fucking road warrior running off of 12 hours of sleep in the span of like 3 to 4 days.
Yeah, VHS Fest was fucking sick, though. We have a VHS Fest episode up, so if you're listening to this episode, go check out the VHS Fest episode 7. That's on YouTube.
Yep.
So much fun, dude. I love the way that edit had come out.
Yeah, that's great.
That's a great episode, or segment episode, whatever you want to say. But yeah, so we were fresh off of VHS Fest when we were recording Action USA, and funny enough, I didn't realize this, but my town was in like a state of emergency at that time. Like I can't believe we got home.
Oh my
like
God,
how we did,
bro.
because like after we had recorded 5 minutes or so after that, all the power in my town had went out. We started hearing fire trucks and alarms and all this shit everywhere, and there was just flooding. It was
chaos,
fucking
man.
Crazy.
I was stuck down here an extra day. I had to take like a totally different route to get home. It was fucked, man. It was fucked.
What was it like driving up like that way? Was it,
dude?
It was all fucked up?
So I couldn't really see because of the alternative routes that I had to take.
Right.
So then I had to hop on the I-87 and shit off of Suffren, and then like get back home through New Paltz. So I got hit with 2 extra tolls, whereas my normal way down here on 17 to Route 6 to Palisades Parkway, no tolls.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that fucking sucked.
Yeah, it was an inconvenience.
It was an inconvenience, but I'm so happy we had wrapped up that episode right before we lost power, because had that have happened,
yeah, we wouldn't have been able to finish recording.
Yeah.
It would have been,
because we had lost power for like 2 hours, and I think at that point we would have been just so mentally done.
And we had pushed that episode too, because we were gonna do it the Thursday before we left, because we left on a Friday. To go to VHS Fest.
But a bunch of shit we had to take care of, and we were just like, you know what? I don't think this is a good time, so
Yeah,
let's just shoot it when we get back.
wasn't the right time, you know.
And thankfully it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out. It was a
Yeah.
great episode.
Yeah.
I
Oh
love that
man.
movie too.
Action USA. We're super fans of that beautiful Vinegar Syndrome release you have. Yeah,
You'll
man.
get one.
Yeah, I'll get one when the time's right. For now, I'm good with my MVD basic
Nothing
slip,
compares to the
but nothing
Vinegar
compares to that
Syndrome.
Vinegar Syndrome release.
So after that one, we have
We scraped at the bottom of the barrel. The ultimate ripoff, Bruno Mattei's Cruel Jaws. My goodness. We recorded it during Shark Week, at the start of Shark Week. It was a good summertime movie. Same with Action USA. We're kicking things off hot with the summer. Or Ticks. But all three of those movies.
Hold on.
Actually, yeah.
Ticks was June.
Ticks was June.
Yeah. So that
Action
was kind
USA
of
was July.
Yeah.
Same with Cruel Jaws.
I think we recorded Cruel Jaws
at the end of June for Shark, or the end of July for Shark Week.
Yeah, but it was released
in early August.
August 2nd.
Yeah. It's one thing to rip off Jaws.
Yes.
It's another thing to rip off your peers like Joe D'Amato with Blood Shark and fucking, what is it, The Last Shark?
Yeah, The Last Shark. Dude, he ripped off of every single fucking Jaws rip-off movie. Bruno ripped off of. It was the most absurd thing, man.
It really was an absurd movie. With a Hulk Hogan impersonator.
That is just like the cherry on top.
Like, fuck Hulk Hogan, but having a Hulk Hogan impersonator.
No, incohesive story.
Yep. Oh my god.
Horrible acting. Not on the actors' behalf, but just from some really bad directing.
Yeah.
Because they took that shit very serious, man.
And
it was so
Bruno
funny.
was kind of a dick on set. And
I was
just
listening,
not speaking English.
Right. I mean, that's not his fault.
I know, not, but like he just wasn't being like, he wasn't having good communication with his cast.
There was just like that.
A bunch of, what is it on the tagline or on the back of the cover? A bunch of ashamed unknowns.
Right, dude. I'm glad you had brought that up because I was gonna say it, and I would wish that I had said it in the episode. So I'm glad I could say it now. But dude, those people, I guarantee you, they went into it under the impression that they were making
a big movie. They were doing something
a big flick, like a Jaws sequel or something. You know, like Cruel Jaws, Jaws 5.
Yeah,
is like what it
was marketed
what
in
it was
Italy.
Marketed under. So these fucking poor people probably thought that they were making a Jaws film and taking that shit so serious, and then the end result, man, was probably baffling to them.
Yeah,
so
could
they
you
only
imagine,
had one guy on the special features, so.
Which says a lot.
Yeah.
But could you imagine going to that premiere, being part of the cast, even if there is one, because of the whole Jaws 5 name, it didn't get distributed or released in the U.S.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. That movie
So-
didn't get a North American release for a very long time too, because of all the copyright shit.
Yeah.
Anytime I think about a bad opening night or a bad what's the word that I'm looking for?
Premiere?
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Anytime I think of a bad premiere, I always refer back to The Disaster Artist with the premiere of The Room.
Yeah.
And just like how shot, like them sinking in their seats, watching these scenes and stuff, man.
Yeah.
Just so fucking funny, man.
Yeah.
So then after that, it's our last episode that we did.
Yeah,
that
episode
dropped
21.
before this one.
Yep. Body Melt from the Land Down Under.
Land Down
Some
Under, the body horror-
Ozploitation,
Body horror from the
90s
Land Down
melt
Under.
movie.
Body Melt's a good one, man. Body Melt's a fun flick, dude. We talk a lot in the episode about just how well written the movie is. I loved.
Yeah, real quick, coming off of Cruel Jaws,
It was a
and
breath
then
of fresh
going,
air.
yes, to a well-written movie, definitely a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, it was nice being able to talk about a well-written movie.
It was your first Vinegar Syndrome movie.
Yeah, that was my first. That was my first Vinegar Syndrome movie I had ever seen.
Yep.
One of the movies I contribute to really getting me into the whole collecting world. Like I said in the episode, thanks to you, man. So Body Melt will always have a special place in my heart for sure.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, after that episode, we have this
We're
episode
here.
that we're recording here.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad that we got to, go through and talk, some of these episodes, man. Like I said, I'm not going to talk about, the movies or the episodes rather, that I didn't necessarily love. But Evil Dead Rise is the number one for me. You know, that's my favorite one that we've done. Number two for me was Phantom of the Mall, and then number three was Black Christmas. And one of the reasons why Black Christmas is one of my favorite ones that we did was because, like, I have had conversations with people where they, like, actually picked up on and retained information that we had dropped on them during that episode, because it's a pretty thorough episode.
It's always a
So
good feeling.
that's a great feeling. And then another thing too was I was told by somebody that with the Evil Dead episode that we had done was the first time we had put a like a TikTok out.
Mm-hmm.
I think a relative of them had gotten it randomly in their algorithm. Like, it just randomly popped
That's
up.
cool.
So I was like, you know, it was like somebody unrelated to us,
Yeah.
who wasn't seeking this kind of content, you know, had just so happened to have it. And I was like, damn, like, you know, we were like reaching different levels now, which is super dope.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and plus having Dylan on too.
Yeah. I'd say if I had to pick like a top 3 episodes, definitely number 1 to Evil Dead Rise, even though it wasn't my favorite movie we covered. The conversation was so good. We could have kept talking for hours upon hours. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think none of us really wanted to get off. It's
No.
just, it was, you know, later in the night, you know, Dylan's got 2 kids. He's a family guy.
Right.
I get it. But that conversation was so good. You had to do little editing, because
Yeah.
that's just how good it
It was
was.
a breeze for me editing.
I think my number 2 would be Hack Lantern and Trick or Treat, just because we came back from such a fall
Mm-hmm.
of what we dealt with, and it still came out strong. And then, yeah, I'd have to say definitely Black Xmas, because
I'm glad we're like we're pretty fucking much on the same page as far as, you know, our favorites go at
yeah,
that point. So yeah, I mean, we love Black Christmas. There's no question about it.
scariest movie I've ever seen to this day.
Dude, I always think about when we went to go see Joe Bob, man.
Yeah,
and
that's
we had
right.
seen
We
that shit,
didn't
dude.
mention that in our quick retrospective, but we had went to a screening at the Elmo Draft House. That our boy Ray is the manager at the Yonkers location. So shout out to Ray. And yeah, it was Joe Bob hosting a screening of the original Black Christmas on 35 millimeter.
Yep.
That was a fucking fantastic experience. And you know what, too? Like, as we're starting to wrap this episode up, you know, we kind of always kick off the show with some band talk. I mean, I've gotten back into the Hudson Valley scene, and you'd made notice, like, almost every remote episode I'm always coming off a show the night before. Yeah. And that is true, because I've just been getting more active with it. And just the outpour of support, all given back to us from the Hudson Valley hardcore metal scene has been sick, with our brothers in Servant of Sorrow.
Well, you're the sixth member. You're the unofficial sixth member.
Andrew Thomas. Right? Was like, yo, there he is, the sixth member of Servant.
Well, I like the fact that we have a platform. Like, I'm glad, you know, because we're kind of like wrapping this up now, and we can talk like this kind of stuff. I like that we have a platform where we can talk about the things that we want to talk to. We can shout out, you know, the shit that we want to fucking shout out, the people that we want to shout out. You know, and it's just the Hudson Valley hardcore scene, the Hudson Valley, you know, music scene has always been a big thing for us. And for us to be a show that shouts these shows out, that shouts these bands out, you know, where we have that support for our friends in the Hudson Valley and shit.
Yeah,
you know,
it feels
very
so
fulfilling for me.
Very fulfilling. It's like full circle shit. It's just like, we give the support, we've been getting it back. I'm happy that this is a platform to shout out our scene, because we fucking ride for the Hudson Valley hardcore and metal scene. And yeah, man, it's been so sick, sidebarring about all of these talented bands on the come up, and these newer venues that have been popping off, like Reason and Ruckus, the Grange out in Newburgh. There's so many good shows coming up. This is September. I am so busy this month with shows. There's literally a show every weekend that I'll be attending, and it's all local shows.
That's awesome.
Besides when I go up to Albany to see Terror, but also on that bill is Age of Apocalypse, Hudson Valley Hardcore, and Godskin Peeler,
Right.
Hudson Valley Hardcore.
Yeah, I saw that you just posted that flyer.
Yeah, so
That's what's up.
it's, dude, it's so sick. Like, and also Outsider magazine coming back, they really cover everything that's been going on in the scene. They'd released an issue like over a month ago. My boy Jay Castro, he had an article about like growing up in the hardcore scene around here, and there's even a segment for like this one VHS collector on there.
Really?
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
I
I
have to
think
look
it's
into that.
Danny something, but like he would do this curation of like spaghetti night with like films in his VHS collection, mostly horror. But just man, it's just so sick, all this shit coming full circle, and just us being this platform to shed light on what's going on in our
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah, man. It's just
Love it.
it's
Love to
cool.
see it.
It's cool having it's cool having, our own platform to say what we want, to talk about what we want. And I think that that's kind of like having the right intention with having a podcast, man.
Yeah.
I never went into it with any expectation aside from just being able to have fun conversations with you and talk about the things that I want to talk about. And then, everything else that follows from it is just great. And I'm so grateful for it, man. I'm grateful for the show. I'm grateful for fucking, you doing this with me, man.
Hell yeah, brother.
One,
If it wasn't for you like bringing me back into this shit, like I would have been like, yeah, I'm good on ever
yeah,
doing
we
it.
did we talk about yeah, no,
We
we
talked
did.
about
We
the
talked about the
conversation in the
conversation.
garage.
So I still have the conversation. I'm gonna throw the snippet into this episode as well, so you'll be able to hear like the first ever, you know, Dead with My Friends conversation that Steven and
Yeah.
I had, where we were just talking about Goosebumps and guy
Just werewolves. Yeah, we were talking
werewolves
about
and
Werewolf of Fever Swamp and like just, werewolves and guys in suits and fuck CGI, and we're like, listening back, we're like, okay, let's fucking do this,
yeah,
dude.
let's just do
And then
it.
we got our feet wet at VHS 6 when we vlogged that, and from there it was just go.
Yeah. We were like, all right, we're having fun doing this. Let's continue to do it, man. And like I say, full steam ahead. We're not stopping anytime soon. We're
No,
having
not
tons
at
of
all.
fun fucking doing this.
And we got some things in the works as far as like possible shirts. So,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
be
yeah. I
on the
wanna.
lookout for when that.
Well, I wanna talk a little bit about that before we wrap up. So I want to say though that I have some sample shirts coming in. For a design, not a design, like I didn't really design much, but it's a fun shirt. It's gonna be our first shirt, and I mean, I think it's safe to say that it's gonna be our first giveaway, dude.
Yeah, we're
I'm
definitely going to do a
confident in
giveaway.
it now. I didn't want to make any mention of it because like I didn't really know how things were gonna pan out, but I got everything figured out with it. We're gonna do a giveaway probably by the end of this month, I'd say. Honestly, is
Okay.
is is when we're gonna do it. By the end of September, we're gonna have it. We're gonna have all the shit up about it. So definitely check out our Instagram. That's where you're gonna hear about it, and see the shirt and all that shit. So whoever wins that, it's gonna be a lucky one. So we got a shirt giveaway coming soon. I got some stickers as well. I think this month we're gonna drop the website, man.
Really
So
now. Big news, man.
I didn't even tell you. I got it
This
to
is news to me, everyone.
I got
So
it to a point where I'm happy with it. It'll be a good place for us to promote the episodes, a place for people to get merch, because one of my main goals that I've been wanting to do, and I didn't really want to throw myself fully into it, at first, but I want to release limited runs of t-shirts for episodes that we do.
yeah.
I think that that's fun.
Yeah, no, that's a sick idea.
you know? So, I mean, we have what episode are we on now?
We're now on episode 22.
22. So I'll say 21 technically, right? So like that's like 21 shirt ideas, boom, there.
Yeah.
So I have a back catalog, and now we're like moving on too. So
Also, real quick, we had talked about like, because we had always had the discussion of doing shirts and limited runs, but also some collab shirts with some of the Hudson Valley bands.
Yeah, that's 100% gonna happen too. We
Yeah.
gotta talk to those homies about
Yeah.
that shit though. But I got one shirt that I made for a band. I'm not gonna say who, but I fucking designed a shirt for them. I haven't even told them about it yet. I didn't want to. I didn't want to be that guy. Like, hey, look what I made for you.
Yeah.
But the fact that like they also wanted to have a collab too, I was like, all right, like we'll talk now.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, man, we want to do that too. Like that sounds like fucking fun, man. And it's just
Hell
like
yeah,
the
man.
podcast collabing with bands that we like, bro, our friends in the scene and shit, dude. And
that's what it's all about,
to
man.
be able to have, you know, something that I made, you know, in regards to the show out there, people wearing it, dude, like that sounds so cool. So moving forward for the rest of the year, that's something that I'm going to be working on. A big goal of mine for the rest of the year, or even by next year when we talk about this, man, like one goal of mine is I want to have a celebrity guest of some sort. I want to definitely have a celebrity guest. I don't know who, I don't know for what movie, but I want to have.
I think it's achievable, but first and foremost, I definitely want like some of our friends, like in the scene and community on moving into the new year. That's a big goal of mine, to build up to a celebrity guest.
And I'm talking about, you know, having a guest being intimidating, you know. Having a celebrity guest might be a little bit more intimidating, but no, we'll fucking kill it with that too, man. And of course I want our boys to be on as well. We got a lot to talk about with a lot of people.
Yeah.
So that for sure, you know, is a main goal. I want to have a celebrity guest of some sort. But dude, I also really want to have a booth somewhere, man. I want to fucking have a booth talking. We're
maybe by next summer we can start cutting our teeth, whether it be Monster Mania Con or maybe a booth at VHS Fest. We'll see.
At VHS Fest would be sick. But these are, you know, these are achievable things, man. And I'm excited to sit with you next year and talk about all the things that we achieved in 2024.
Yeah.
And the remainder of 2023.
Yeah.
So it's going to be awesome, man.
For sure.
With all that being said, I think it's time to take us out, Steven.
All right. If you've been liking what you've been watching and or listening to, the best way to support us is follow us at Dead With My Friends Podcast on Instagram. We are also on Anchor FM, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast from. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube. Leave us a 5-star rating and a review. That really helps the show grow. And again, whether this is your first time listening or you've been with us from the start or the middle, thank you so much for coming back, checking us out, giving us the support. We appreciate it. To all my homies in Servant of Sorrow, Sick Bay, Abuse Ritual, Flowers for Burial, all of the Hudson Valley hardcore metal scene that have given us the support, we fucking appreciate you all so much. To Bad Taste Video, to Laser Graves, to all the homies, thank you guys, seriously. It's been one hell of a year, and we can't wait for year 2.
Till next time, I'm Nick.
And I'm Steve.
Peace. Let me ask you, so do you remember the Goosebumps episode when the kids next door think that the other kid next door is a ghost? And then they like break into her house and they're like trying to they're like yelling at the woman and she's not responding and they still think that she's a ghost, and as it turns out, she's deaf.
Was that what Dead House? Welcome to Dead House?
No, it might have been. There's lots of
I know, there was. Oh man, I mean, Werewolf of Fever Swamp.
Yes,
that is always my. Joe and I admit that like that is a very scary and intense episode.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
Like the first time I saw it, I was pretty fucking scared.
I think that it's a really good like way to like do like a werewolf flick.
Yeah.
Or book, right? Or like some kind of entertainment like that. Like that's a cool werewolf concept. God bless you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, that's a cool werewolf concept. I always love that though, dude. Like, oh, man, I love werewolves in movies.
Yeah, and the issue I think is.
Oh, by the way, have you been? We'll go back to that 1 second. Have you been following Hugo and his brother Loris?
A little bit. I've seen some posts of like
they're making a really awesome movie, dude. And if you go on Facebook, if you like Art by UN, you know him.
Yep.
So, yeah, dude, they're doing a really, really, really sick flick, dude. It's werewolf.
It's werewolf.
Yeah.
Oh, tell me it's gonna be. It's got to be a guy in the suit. And then his brother. They got to design it.
Oh, dude, you have to see it. I've seen behind the scenes. They have a whole behind the scenes featurette thing that they made.
Yeah,
bro.
I got to see this.
The boys are legit. They're fucking great, man.
And the point I was making is that werewolf movies, there's not enough, and when they are now, they're just fully CGI'd, and that shit drives me insane, man. I want to see a guy in a suit.
Werewolf in Paris. I think that was like CGI.
Yeah, 97. I mean, it's it's got that shitty like 90s charm to it.
For sure.
You know what's weird is like some of the faces on the werewolves look actually pretty good, and I'm like, if you could just like replicate that onto a suit and like a good like animatronic like mask, like come on, there's so like we're just not getting enough werewolf movies where it's like good suits. Like the last good werewolf suit I could like think about is Cabin in the Woods. That suit was phenomenal.
Everything on that movie.
Yeah, that's a fucking amazing movie.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, dude. I was very interested. Did I ever show you I was like gonna buy like one of like the foam latex pieces? I think it was like foam latex of that fucking fish thing. Remember that? Like they were joking about it the whole time, and then it goes at the end, and then it like eats the guy's head, I think.
Yes.
You should watch that tonight, dude.
I'd be down for Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, let's watch that.
All right, yeah.
Let's puke that. Because we said Vinegar Sunday, right?
All right.
So let's watch.
Right.
Let's stick to our plan that we're gonna do the Vinegar Sunday. I think we could probably squeeze in a good amount of movies. I have flicks that I want to actually check out. But I want to see Thriller or Triller, right?
Thriller,
right?
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought Triller.
Thriller, aka They Call Her One Eye. Yep. But we have to watch Thriller because that's the uncut version. Like that's the way you got to see it. You got to start off strong, like your coffee in the morning, and throw on Thriller, and then head on a good note with Miami Connection.
Yeah, and then if
or
time, New York Ninja.
Or how about this?
Even when you split, I'm gonna probably watch.
How about this?
Ninja. Yeah,
tomorrow maybe Thriller.
Okay, I mean
because you wanted to do a double feature of New York Ninja and then Miami Connection, which I think is a great double feature. You know how much I love to like pair films.
Oh yeah.
So I'm
you
all
got
for
me
that
into
movie.
that. I began to be like very interested in like going about that. Like, the themes are great, you know.
I can't help it. Like I love good themes.
You
like,
watch Cabin Fever like in like the fall.
Yeah, kind of like summer, fall. I mean,
fall
it's
movie,
camping.
right?
Yeah, no, it does take place in the fall.
September, October, I'd say maybe.
Absolutely. Pair that with like maybe Blair Witch. I don't know. It's fucking. That's not a bad pairing,
dude.
They're around. They're kind of around close to the same time. I mean, I know Blair Witch is 99 and that's 2003.
Yeah, Blair Witch might work. For some reason, Wrong Turn popped in my head.
Yes, that's even kind of better because it was the same year.
That was surprisingly good.
I like the Wrong Turn. I even like part 2. Shout out Henry Rollins.
Yeah.
Henry Rollins is great.
Shouldn't say for its time.
Anything Henry Rollins says, I'm gonna fucking hear all about,
absolutely.
man. I love that guy. Such a good human being. Henry Rollins is the man. I don't believe in God, but I believe in Henry Rollins.
I don't believe in God, but I believe in Kevin Smith.